Hi, how are you? How was your first day? Well, today we're really going to learn, and I'm sorry the first lesson has to be on a screencast, but no worries. And also, I'm here. I'm looking at you, okay? So make sure you do a good job. The first lesson is going to be it's going to sound kind of easy, but don't worry. This first section actually starts pretty difficult, and you'll see that as we move along. The main things that you're going to have to concern yourself with, not the angles, because you already know what an angle is, right? But I won't assume that you know exactly what an angle is, but you should know what an angle is, and you know the concept of degrees already too, okay? But you know the concept of degrees, but how about something called radians? And I think some of you guys may have heard of it, but I think radians is going to be the most important thing that we're going to discuss this whole year. You're going to be utilizing that the entire year, so make sure that you really focus, especially at the beginning while we discuss radians, and you really understand the full concept of what a radian is, okay? All right, today is August, right? August 11th already, woo! Okay, 2022. Okay, and let's get started. Part one is review of angles. And as you see an angle here, right? You see an angle. This is an initial side, which lies along the x-axis. And you see the y-axis here, because this is a standard position of an angle. Standard position means that your initial side is always along the x-axis, okay? Only the terminal side moves, okay? So this guy could move here, 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 all the way through the quadrant if this were a quadrant, okay? All right, and I think we already know that, okay? And you're familiar with the concept of a right angle, right? That's 90 degrees. That means the terminal side would be here, right? If this was a 90-degree angle, okay? All right, and moving along with that, you also know that this angle here is 54 degrees, which is an acute angle, right? But when it's greater than 90, of course, it's an obtuse angle. But you've already had geometry, because that's a prerequisite for our class. So to practice your angle skills, you can actually go and do this game that I have for you. It's already on your Schoology as well, this link. Just playing. Where's 30 degrees? Oh, wait, this is 0. This is 30, standard position. 270. Well, it's 90, 90, 90. So 270. Whoa, okay? So you can actually play that game. I guess I have an ad blocker on, but you could probably play it after you turn off the ad blocker, okay? All right, so reading angles, easy peasy, okay? So I won't even assign you any homework on that because I think... So now that you think you know what an angle is, let's actually go ahead and draw an axis. I'm going to draw this axis here, x and a y, so that's an y, and this is an x-axis. And I'm going to start at the x-axis, which is my initial side, right? My initial side. So I'm going to go initial side, whee! I'm going to end here. Now, if the angle ends here, that means the terminal side actually lives here, right? In the third quadrant between 180 and 270 degrees. So you can tell me that the angle is somewhere between 180 and 270 degrees, okay? So because the initial side is here, it goes around, it lies on the terminal side lies on the third quadrant, and this angle is somewhere between 180 and 270. So angles are pretty baby stuff. I know, you're laughing, okay? Let's move on to coterminal angles. Coterminal angles, you have to think about the name itself. You know it's angles. That means it's more than one angles together somehow. Together. Terminal? Who's together? Terminal sides are together. Terminal means where the angle ends, right? So the ending sides of the angle is the same. Okay? And together. Collaborate, cooperate, right? We're going to actually discover this using this here. This link is also provided for you. Two angles are coterminal if they are drawn in the standard position, which is what we've been dealing with, right? Standard position, and both have their terminal sides in the same location. Okay, so take a look at these first. We have angle ABC, this little 30 degrees angle, right? But DBC, DBC, that's also coterminal. Why? Because maybe DBC is here. It also ended at the same position. Okay, so you're probably now making kind of some connections here. You're like, oh, okay. Well, we're going to practice some, don't worry. I wonder what the relationship is between 30 degrees and 390 is what you were probably thinking. Let's look at this one here. 30-degree angle here, which is angle ABC, right? 30-degree angle. But what if we went from standard position and we went around the other way? Reverse, right? Counterclockwise, or clockwise in this case, clockwise. This one, we went around counterclockwise. And in this one, we're going to go around clockwise from the initial side. And we end up at the same terminal side. How much did we go around in order for us to make Negative 330. Negative degrees? You guys know that we can go negative angles too, right? So if I were to go from here, this angle here, if I were to go like this, I could go negative 54 degrees if I wanted to, right? Okay, we know that, right? All right. Okay, so coterminal angles. Maybe that's a lot of like not an intuitive concept for some of you. So I'm going to show you on a little site that I have here. Coterminal. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, coterminal. Go back. Wait 1 second. Let's go here. Uh-oh, sorry. I'm gonna go find it here. Coterminal. Where is it? Let's go here. Yeah, it's kind of like you're on the journey with me, okay? So coterminal angles, da 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 da. So let's go here. Standard position, terminal sides are on the same location. So we're gonna actually go like this, okay? So you guys, I'm gonna make this guy at 30, so it's easier for you to follow along. And what if I take this guy, right? I started initial 30. That's the same. These are not. I mean, guys, they're coterminal because terminal sides are the same. But what if I told you that there's more than one terminal sides, right? Coterminal sides, coterminal angles. These guys are coterminal too. So is this guy. So is this guy. Wait a minute. What are we doing? We're spinning around and around, right? Okay. These guys, 1,470 degrees is also coterminal with 30 degrees. Why? Because the terminal sides are the same. Let's refresh. Okay. I'm going to start again at 30 degrees because it's easy for us, right? Now, I'm going to take this angle here at 0. They're definitely not coterminal because the terminal sides are not on top of one another. But what if I went reverse, right? Wait, tell me when to stop, stop! Like right here, they're coterminal. Why? Because the terminal sides are on this, they overlap each other. Let's do it again. I think we get the point. How much did I have to go around in order for something to be coterminal, right? Whether I went this way or this way, but let's reverse. What's the relationship between 330 and 390? Okay. What about what's the relationship between 30 degrees and the coterminal going negatively, right? So negative 330. So we're going to actually discuss that. Okay, so let's go back here. Coterminal because, okay? So if you understand the concept of coterminal and how the terminal sides are supposed to end up together on top of one another, you should be able to tell me now, okay? You could draw it too. And drawing, I think, is really powerful. Give one positive and one negative coterminal angle. So we have 10 degrees. So if some of you guys are more visual, like me, so we can draw this too. I have 10 degrees. Maybe this is a little exaggerated 10-degree angle, okay? I have 10 degrees, but I want to give one positive and one negative coterminal angle. So this is my terminal side, right? I must go around, right? I must start it here. I can't give you another 10 degree. I want something different, right? So I'm going to go around. And how much do I have to go around in order for me to end up here? Well, aren't I doing a full circle, really? If I'm doing a full circle, you guys, a full circle is how many degrees? I did a 360, right? You guys talk that way, right? 360. So you're going to go 10 degrees plus 360, and you get 370 degrees. So you'll notice that if I actually draw 370 degrees, 0, 0, 0, 0, and I go a little 10 more, I end up at 10 degrees too. So these guys are coterminal. So to get my positive, I added 360. But maybe some of you guys are saying, can I do it again? Of course! If going in circles is really fun for you, you can do it again. So don't stop here. You can do it again. And you keep adding 360. So add 360 again. That's another one. 730 is another coterminal angle, etc. You get the point, right? Oh, yeah, 730, okay? Now, how do I get a negative one? Well, then travel the reverse order, right? So you're going to start the standard position again. Start at the x-axis, but you're going to go this way. How much did you have to go around? Didn't you go negative, right? Negative. So you mean you started at 10 degrees. You started at 10 degrees, right? You started at 10 degrees, and you went minus 360. Minus 360. So you get negative 350 degrees. Now, how do you check to see that you traveled correctly or that you end up at the same terminal position? Well, let's try. Let's travel 350 negative. That's 180, right? That's 180. Almost 180, but it's actually right here. And that's 10 degrees, right? If you were to go this way. Whether you go this way or this way, you should still get 350. So let's make a conclusion here. To get positive and negative coterminal angles, you would take the angle given. You would take the angle given, right? And then you would add or subtract 360 as many times as you want, right? As many times as you want. Because I can go, again, negative, right? I can go like this. I can go from here, keep going around until I end up here again. Keep going in either direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, okay? So now you try for 575 and negative 405, okay? I want one positive and one negative. You can stop the video and actually do it yourself. Okay, how did you do? Okay, how did you do? So I got 575, and if you want, you can draw it. What quadrant did it end up at? What quadrant did it end up at, okay? Maybe some of you guys just added and subtracted, and that's okay too, okay? So I'm going to go plus 360, okay? Or I'm going to go 575 minus 360. But I think some of you guys have noticed that when you added 360, you got something like 935. When you subtracted 360, you also got 215. So have you fulfilled the request? No, because it's positive and a negative, but you only still have positives, right? So what must I do to get a negative? Because if I keep adding 360, I'm going to keep getting more and more positive, right? What should I do? I should take this 215 here, which is coterminal with 575, but keep subtracting 360. I know that's what you were thinking too. So I got negative 145, and that is, I have a negative, I have multiple positives, okay? All right, do the same thing for negative 405. I got negative 405. It's nothing strange, right? It's nothing different. You can either add 360, but what happens when you add 360? You're right, you still end up with a negative 45 degrees. So there's your negative. How do you get a positive? Well, you take your negative 45 degrees, which is coterminal with negative 405, and you keep adding 360. Okay, and what did you get? 315. So there's a positive and there's a negative, okay? And are those, so think about this, are those the only answers you can get? No, right? I hope the answer is no. All right, next video. See you later.